Alright, so as I said last week, this week we'd get into be the last of the gears that I had on my very first video. They're the ones with Uncle Bumble. This is my basically day pack as it's set up right now. We'll go through the contents, and then afterwards I'll give you some thoughts, or some of my thoughts on this bag. So let's get started. Howdy folks, Uncle Bumble here. As I said in last week's video, this week we'll go over my day pack. So let's get started. Over here, just Condor eyeglasses case or sunglasses case. Usually have sunglasses on me if it's sunny or whatnot, or that are safety rated. But if it's not, I like to carry a pair of safety or shooting glasses with me, just in case. You never know what you might end up doing sometimes. So I like to have a place to have those, that it's not going to get lost or destroyed. But it's got a set of it's got a hard plastic in this case to kind of keep it crush proof or resistant to being crushed. I got a set of revision sunglasses here in their pouch, just a black pouch, so they'll get scratched up. But the other little thing I got in here, I like to keep a little signal mirror in here. It's just a small one. It's actually one of them, the plastic, or it's like fracture break resistant ones, but it's got the little, as you can see there, the window for sighting your mirror. But I just keep it stuffed in this little case here. It's got the cloth there to keep your glasses from getting scratched up, so I thought that'd be a good place to stuff that. So that's what lives on this side of the pouch. We'll leave that open. Over here is where I keep my cook kit. It's just a Condor hydration pouch on the outside. There's plenty of room here. I just have stuff for adding flavor to boiled water, as I'm talking off the camera. But some great value flavored water, like lemonade and that kind of stuff. I got a thing for making coffee. I can make coffee. Got hot cocoa. I could add the coffee to the hot cocoa and make my own. Well, if I leave it sitting, add some snow and ice to it, I can make my own mocha frappuccino. All fang-dangled like that, and high-fluting people at the Starbucks. But you can put all kinds of stuff in there. When it's warmer out, this is where I will keep a Sawyer Mini. But all the water out there was froze, so there's no need for a filter. And then in here, I've got a stainless steel bottle. This is a Pathfinder set from Day Canada. It's a Bakelite lid on there. It's a plastic lid, but it's a good lid. 32-ounce bottle. And then it came with, it was a set for like $40, which I really like. It's a pretty good deal. Came with a 25-ounce cup. It's got the butterfly handles on it. It's got the holes, so that's how I was hanging the cup there in the video with that fish maw spreader, which is in a different spot in the bag. It doesn't fit in that pouch very well. And then down the bottom, I just got the lid stuffed. And the ring stays up on the lid, so you can get a knife or fork or stick in there to lift it off. The only thing about this set, it's not really that big a deal. It's kind of nice in some sense, but if you push that beast on there, it doesn't want to come off. So you gotta, when I cook, I just set it on there like that. And then with these slots that are in the top, you can still put this on when you're hanging it with the mouse spreaders. You can use it as a strainer. It's got a hole over here to breathe when you're pouring it out through the strainer. Breathe. Unless you want to strain stuff off real slow, maybe that's what those are for. But I really like this set. I think it's $40. The other nice thing is, with this plastic lid, you can't put it on the fire. You can put cotton material in here. As I stumble over my words, cotton material in here with that plastic lid. You can't put it on to starve the air to make char. or you can put wood, you can char wood too in there, but you put this like this, and now you can char materials in here. So that's nice. And then you've got 2 containers. You could cook in this one and boil water, or boil water in both to get more water done quicker. So and they nest, so they don't take up much space. So I really like this whole set. So yeah, that's my cook set for my day pack. There's no stove or anything. You've seen that video. It was pretty simple to make a little tripod with that hanger. Don't need the extra weight. All right, so then from there, we'll go into this pocket. In here, I just have some layers. It's just a quick little, it's a little fire kit. We got some more wet fire fuel tabs, some matches. This is like a fire starter that you would use for in your house. It's just wax and sawdust pressed into a bar. And I think these burn. I mean, it's good size. It'll burn for quite a while. Got that in there. And then there is a roll of duct tape in here. Duct tape's multi-purpose. You can repair stuff with it, but you can also use it as a fire extender. The glue and the duct tape's pretty flammable. So I just got it in a plastic bag there so that the matches stay dry. And then the only other thing that I have in here is what else you can see it. Got a headlamp. And then since this bag sits around in storage, for a while, so I pulled the batteries out, and they're just taped together, black tape, so nothing shorts across the ends of the batteries. If I know I'm going to be out, actually, chance overnight, I'll put them in here, but I said that way nothing pushes the buttons and the batteries, and the alkaline batteries don't destroy my headlamp. I like this headlamp. It was just an inexpensive one from Walmart, but it's got a separate light for it does a flood, a spot, and then it's got red light. And the nice thing about red light, if you're worried about light signature, red light's a lower light signature, but what I really like about red light is it doesn't ruin your night vision. So if you're out walking around or whatever, and you need a little light, like maybe to see in the bag, you can hit this single button, flash the red light, see what you're doing, and you don't lose your night vision. So you can go back about what you're doing pretty efficiently without having to stumble around in the dark. And that is all that's in there. I mean, you can shove more stuff in there, but that's all I put in there. That's all I figured I needed in there. Move on to this pouch. This pouch is kind of an admin. I've got it set up as like a first aid pouch, but so that being said, the first thing on top is a travel kit. It's 4x4s, some 5x9s, rolled gauze, a cheap roll of tape, medical tape. It should be an inch. I should really switch this out. I haven't got around to it. I think that's all. And then some nitrile gloves. One of the things with gloves, you're working on somebody else, sharing is caring, but you don't want to stir that kind of stuff. But it's even on yourself. Like I said, you're out there, your hands are in everything. This kind of help keep down the infection. But, if the bleeding's bad enough, they can fight the infection at the hospital if you make it. If you're screwing around, worried about infection and you bleed out, there's no infection to fight anymore. So it's kind of one of those little things to think about. And the other thing about this too is some of the trauma kits you'll see chest seals. And one of the guys I really like watching for medical stuff on YouTube is Skinny Mac. He used to be on an ambulance. He still does some stuff on an ambulance to keep his skills up. He's saying they use it's like a Vaseline gauze in an ambulance as a chest seal. And they don't even use the gauze or anything. They just use the packaging that the gauze is in. So basically all you need is a piece of plastic to cover the wound, and then you tape 4 sides or 3 sides if you want to vent it or whatever you've been trained, but you just tape the plastic down, and that'll make a chest seal. So quart sandwich bags are pretty much free because most people have them at home. Ziploc bags, freezer ones, kind of heavier duty, but instead of paying $15 for the Hyson, or the hyphen that you hopefully will never use. But it's nice to have something at least. Let's ramble on. And then that's on top because it's trauma. You don't want to dig for your trauma stuff, right? Underneath is a pretty thick boo-boo kit. It's a lot of Band-Aids. A little piece of moleskin in case you get a hot spot while you're walking. The other thing you can do with the duct tape is it reduces the friction. So if you're getting a warm spot, if you put the tape there to knock the friction down into this moleskin before you get the blister, you're doing yourself some good. There's some bee sting or some sting wipes, insect, not incest. Wipes, triple antibiotic ointment, some alcohol pads for cleaning stuff up. You know, splinter and whatnot. You can kind of triple antibiotic, keep things kind of clean out there. There's little things of sunscreen in there. And I'm pretty fair skinned, so that can get a little tender. I think that's about everything that's in there. But like, it's mainly for splinters, little nicks and that kind of stuff. Cotton bandana, mainly for in case I don't wear. I usually wear a hat, but I can put it on. That way I'm not washing layers of skin off later on. But cotton bandanas have so many uses too. Triangle bandages, you could compression bandage, just you could stuff a wound with this, try to keep it somewhat clean. You can blow your nose with it, just don't use it for the wound care maybe after that, but you can make it into char cloth. There's videos that talk about nothing about uses for cotton cloth or cotton bandana, so it's lightweight, it's convenient. I'm gonna throw that in there. I'll do the stuff that you can see right away, I guess. Wet ones. Try to keep your hands as clean as you can out there. Keep your backside clean. If they're in a resealable travel pack, just slide them down in there. Pretty convenient. I got a couple of chem lights here. This one's got a lanyard, for hanging it, of course. But if you swing this for like night rescue, you can swing this around on the end of the lanyard, and makes a bigger signal basically for them to saw it to see. I think they call it like a buzz saw a lot of times, but and this little lanyard is cheap, but it came with it. It should hold up, and then you don't have to waste a piece of paracord on this. It's kind of pre-made, So there's two of those. There's a green and orangish one. And then I got a luxury item in there if you're out hiking all day and it's hot out. Getting a little chafing going on. You can turn that into an Arctic Tundra down there and kind of cool it off, keep you a little more comfortable in the travel section. Plus, if you got sweaty feet, you can dry them up a little bit. Dry your boots out. So the next morning, if you got to put them on, it's not that nasty. Kind of like your gym shirt when you were in high school. Still wet from the day before, and it's getting cold. Right there, I think most of us have. And then, no more goodies down there except for this. This is for my younger viewers. Is a 35mm film case for cameras. You'll have to Google that and figure out what I'm even talking about there. But these are little compressed towels. You put them in water, they swell up. That's why I got them in a bag and in this, trying to keep them dry. But they were pretty cheap, and I figured, you never know what you might get into. So it's nice to have a little something more than just burning up all your wet wipes to clean up. Well, seemed like they might kind of be convenient, so I threw them in there. Don't weigh a whole lot. It's kind of bulky, but I got the room to waste. So let's see. Let's keep moving on here. Let's go from this side, actually. All right, my next pouch. Actually, flip around to this before I forget about it. This is hydration carrier capable. I've got a bladder in there, as you can see. I've got it still. I didn't have any water in it. This isn't insulated. I got it on there to keep the hose from getting messed up by branches and whatnot, but I just didn't feel like taking it out. It's just inexpensive bladder that came with the pack. You got a nice hanger up there, and then you got a spot to route your lines out to up top. There's the one where it's there, but that's what they look like. They're kind of X, and then you just rip the Velcro back. But, so you can go to either side. Yeah, it's got a nice. One of the other things I do if I'm not carrying a bladder, I like to stuff a piece of a rain jacket down in there. It's an out of the way place for it. It's not so convenient if you want to get to it quick, some people would say, but you got to take the pack off either way to get the stuff. So, you know, unless you're good at, I can't quite reach to get stuff out of the pack while it's on. So, this section here is my shelter section. Easy for me to say, right? So it's got a pocket in the back. I've just got some paracord shoved in there. This one is that pre-made up ridge line that I used in my backyard lunch video, and then there's some extra paracord for all your paracord needs. That. A lot of you have probably seen these before. These are the grabber space blanket tarp combo. So it's got the reflective there. It's a 5x7. You get them in orange and an OD. I figure this is a day pack. If I'm in this, I probably want to be able to, people to see me. And then this, you got a signal with this, and then they say you can flash people with the signal with that as like a signal mirror type thing. But if you're using this kind of stuff when it's emergency, high vis is good. So it's 5x7. It's a little small. I'm 6'4". It's going to be a little tight in there, but it is what it is. I got me a high $1 tarp from the dollar store. I figured I'd give it a try. It's kind of a glorified bag, really, but it does have grommets. I didn't see it doesn't take much pulling and the grommets start to tear out, but it's kind of like for a ground pad. Or if you've got a lean-to going on with that tarp, you can block one end off, maybe knock some of the wind down with this. More options. Say if you've got a piece of rain gear, you can sacrifice this to make a poncho to go over your bag and yourself. The other thing I have for like kind of backup rain gear is some 55-gallon bags, drum liners. They're heavy metal. There's 2 of them here. You can use them, stuff them full of leaves to make ground, like bedding, dry leaves, make bedding. You could put it over top of you as a poncho. You could put it over top of you and stuff dry leaves in this as an insulating layer. But I got 2 of them because if I'm using them as a poncho, I don't think that's going to be big enough to get over me and my bag. So I can put one on my bag and one on me. But, and they're don't take up much room and they're pretty light. So that's pretty much it for that pouch. That's my shelter. And then in here, we'll go with this first. This is a Fisker's axe. I'm going to make an axe mask for this to get rid of this monstrosity, but it works. You could just cut the handle off of there. I'm not going to bother. I've had this axe for a long time. I really like this axe. A lot of people say you got to go with wood handle axes because you can't replace this handle. They run these over with tractors in the video, so they're pretty durable. So if it doesn't break, you don't need to replace it. That's my thought. And it was cheap enough. I think what I got was like $25 instead of paying $150 for an axe or a hatchet. It's your money, spend how you want. It really holds the edge well. I beat the edge up occasionally, but it cleans up nice too. So, anyways. Other tools that I got for processing wood. And this is, that's something that I have in there in the wintertime. In the summertime, I'm not going to carry an axe. I'll probably just have a knife in this. But this is a Baco Laplander saw. They're pretty decent. It was kind of sucking wind on that seasoned ash. I've heard a lot of people talking about Silky Gone Boys, which is a little bit bigger than this. And they cut better, allegedly. And you can get a green blade or dried wood blade. So I might get one of those next, but I'm not going to throw this away. This is a good too. So I'm trying to move through this swiftly, so you don't have a 45-minute video on this bag, which the first time I shot this video was. So that's how I hang my gear. Just some fish mouth spreaders, but they live in that compartment. There's a mesh pouch. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. This part, this pouch here, clamshell's open, so if you want, you can just flip this right open, pack all your stuff in there all nice and neat. But this is also where I would keep my food. I ate all my food, so I don't have anything to show you today, but that goes in this pouch's room. There's room for probably, 2, maybe 3 meals in there. Put some oatmeal in there for breakfast, whatever, but you guys use your imagination. Knocked off Nalgene. I like using these in the wintertime because the lines on the hydration carriers will freeze up and then pretty much useless. Quick tip, what I do in the wintertime, fill this full of hot water in the stainless steel bottle too, and it'll stay warmer, especially in the pack, for quite a while, so your water doesn't freeze up. And if you're doing an overnight, use this one first. That way it's probably empty before the night hits when it freezes, or it's a good chance of it freezing. And if that stainless one freezes, you can put it near the fire to thaw it out, or you can just leave it near the fire so it doesn't freeze. So I had a pair of leather gloves. I had them mechanics gloves. Those are hit or miss. After a little while they get, if it's so, they're just mechanics gloves with a light liner in them. They get a little cold. Plus the leather is nice for using your hands as a fire poker. So those, and that's all the goodies that was in there. So that's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot of room left in here in this bag. I guess I could talk about the bag quick. It's a SOG Opscom or Con. It's like $30. It's a knockoff of Maxpedition's Falcon 2. It's like a 23-liter bag. The Maxpedition's $180, and I'm glad I bought this instead of the Maxpedition. Number one, I've had this for 3 years now at least. Used it every day. It's held up really good. Some of the stitching's but none of the stitching is letting go that's, causing some structural integrity in the bag. So, but I liked the bag at first, but now I'm kind of like, I had this stuff in there. It's pretty much at its limits. I like to have a little bit of extra room in my bag. If I have to take a layer off, I can shove it in the bag. There's not much room for that. If you put a piece of rain gear in there with the bladder, well then the main pouch is pretty much used up. So I'm on the search for a new bag. So, but quality-wise, it was a great bag. I would go with SOG stuff again. So I guess this kind of goes to talking about quality versus expense. Like, I'm glad I didn't go buy once, cry once. Well, I'd have paid $180 for something that quality-wise would have been great, but I just don't like the design of it. And the $30 I put into this quality-wise was just fine too. And it took me a couple years before I just don't like this bag. I just don't. It's not enough room. The other thing, I noticed when I turned it sideways once before, to get that stuff in there, you get all the gear sits out here, and you get that weight back there. This is like with the water in it, with the 2 bottles full, 64 ounces of water, it's 4 pounds, and then I had 12 pounds of gear in there. So the 16 pounds, but it felt like it was pulling me over backwards. And 16 pounds of gear shouldn't really, it should be pretty manageable for most people. And but since the way the bag's set up, it puts that weight further away from your back, and you tend to feel it more. So, but yep, that's pretty much it for the bag there. If you guys got any questions, go and throw them, comment down, and I'll try to answer it the best I can. Next week, it'll be a surprise for both of us. So This has been Uncle Bumble. You guys have a good day. God, I hope that he's not a good indicator of the rest of my audience, because this channel won't last for too long if that's the case. He's got a rough life, but hey, somebody's got to do it, right? All right, you guys have a good one.